All right, everyone, let's turn to page 191 in your book for the solve and discuss it. It says start with the equation 4 plus 8 equals 12 and complete each computation listed on the poster below. Do each computation individually. You may use a table to keep your records for your results. Which of these computations keeps the equation true? So the first one here, it says we're going to add 5. So we do 5 plus 4 plus 8 equals 12. All right, we'll see that we get 17 here, 17 here. So the result is 17. So this one checks out, it's true. All right. Next one says add 3 to the left side and 5 to the other side. All right, which we did up here. So we know that this is 17, and this one will be will be 15. So this is not true because we got 15 and we got 17. So that's not going to work. All right, then it says divide the left side of the equation by 2. So we'll do 4 plus 8, divide that by 2, 12, and we'll divide that by 2. We end up getting 6, and we get 6 for this one. What? All right. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. It says, let's see, I'm reading too quick. We're going to multiply this side by 2, not divide, so multiply this by 2. So we get 6 and we get 24. So those are not true. That's an X there. And then this one, it says we have 4 plus 8, and then we're going to subtract 4, and then 12 minus 4. So this is 8, this is 8. So that one checks out. Okay, so make sure you have that written in for page 191. All right, everyone, let's turn to page 192 in our book for example 1. How can you write equivalent equations? Recall that an equation uses an equal sign to show that two expressions have the same value. An equation is like a balance. To keep the equation balanced, you must do the same thing to both sides. Why does the picture show that the two pans balance? Well, if you look, we have 5 plus 3, and then the other one is just a total of 8, but 5 plus 3 is just the same thing, just broken apart. So keep that in mind for today. Each side has the same number of cubes. Each side has 8 cubes. The addition property of equality states that the two sides of an equation stay equal when the same amount is added to both sides of the equation. How do you use math to represent adding 2 cubes to each side of the hand balance? All right, so we have our original plus 2 equals 8. So that's not showing that we did 2 to both sides. We have our original 5 plus 3 plus 2, and then they add 2 to the other side. So the second one looks like our best bet. You use math to represent adding 2 cubes to each side of the pan balance. By adding 2 to both sides of the equation, why are the pans still in balance? How do you know that the equation 5 plus 3 plus 2 equals 8 plus 2 is balanced? Well, we know that it's going to equal 10, right? The pans are in balance because each side has 10 cubes. The equation is balanced because 10 equals 10, and because of the addition property of equality. The subtraction property of equality states that when you subtract the same amount from both sides of an equation, the two sides of the equation stay equal. After 2 is subtracted from each side of the equation, what is the value of the left side? Well, it's going to end up being 6. The value of the left side of the equation is 6. The value of the right side of the equation is 6. The multiplication property of the equation states that when you multiply both sides of an equation by the same amount, the two sides of the equation stay equal. After each side of the equation is multiplied by 2, what is the value of the left side? Well, it should end up being 16. And the right side is 16 as well. Okay, the value of the left side of the equation is 16. The value of the right side of the equation is 16. The division property of equality states that when you divide both sides of an equation by the same non-zero amount of two sides of the equation, they stay equal. Remember that division by 0 is undefined, so we can't divide by 0. Dividing the expressions on both sides of the equal sign by any other number maintains equality. Okay, so we'll see that it both ends up being 4. So let's go to our try it here. It says if 5y equals 25, which property of equality was used to keep the equation 5y minus 7, 25 minus 7? So what was used there is the subtraction property of equality. All right, and then how can you prove that? Well, you can solve it when we do 5y minus 7 equals 25 minus 7. All right, so we know that if we look at this part, 5 times what gives us 25? It's 5. All right, so we have 5 times 5. Put that as a floating dot. Minus 7. All right, and you can see this is 25 minus 7. 25 minus 7, so it's already equal. 18 equals 8. All right, everyone, let's look at the bottom of page 193. It says, Mary Joy says you can add 12 to each side of the equality y minus 12 equals 30, and the equation will still be true. George says if you subtract 5 from each side of the equation will be true. Who was correct? So if we look through, we can see that the addition property of equality is used for Mary Joy's, and then the subtraction property of equality is used for George. All right, as we go through, both Mary and George are correct. All right, so what's going to happen here is the 12s will cancel out. You have a minus 12 and a plus 12, which gives you 0. And the 30 plus 12 gives you 42, which means our y obviously is a 42 to start out with. And then here you have y. You take away 12 from 42, you get 30. And then you subtract an additional 5, that's 25. And the same holds true for the right side, where 30 minus 5 is 25. Now for the bottom, it says a scale balances with 4 blue X blocks on one side and 36 blocks on the other side. Complete the equation to balance the scale with only one blue block. Right, so as we go and fill it in, right, we're going to have 4, and we're going to divide by 4 for both sides. All right, and we see that this equals 9. Okay, this part here would help us out with that. All right, know that what we have to do there. It says if 25 plus d equals 36, does 25 plus d minus 25 equal 36 minus 20? So let's go through it. So 25 plus d equals 36. So let's solve this. We're going to minus 25 from both sides. Subtract 25. So this tells us that d has to equal 11. Okay. In another color, let's use this equation here. 25 plus d minus 25 equals 36 minus 20. All right, so we're saying that d should equal 11, according to what we solved up top. So we'll do this here. Let's set it up. So as we go the left side, these 25s are going to cancel out, leaving us with 11. Remember, that's originally d. 36 minus 20 is 16. And it's clear that these are not equal, so that would be no. Okay, so make sure you have that written in for the bottom. All right, everybody, let's turn to the top of page 193 for example 2. Excuse me. The scale balances with one blue X block on one side and 4 green blocks on the other side. Franklin put some more green blocks on the right side, and now the scale is not balanced. What can you do to make the scale balance, and which property of equality justifies this? So the quantity 4 is multiplied by 3 on the right side of the balance. Multiply the left side of the balance by 3 to balance the pans. So that means the blue block is equal to basically 4 green blocks is what they're saying. X equals 4, as you can see here. So if we multiply the left side by 3, because that's what they already did to the top, the other side, it'll now give us 3 blocks of blues, all right? And it's a total of 12 green blocks. So that is the multiplication property of equality, because that's the operation that is being used there. Okay, so keep that in mind if you see that later.